Hey, welcome to Backyard Bows. Today we are going to discuss all the bows that we have decided to keep for this upcoming season, which is honestly probably the most common question that I get is when reviewing so much material, how do we narrow it down to what we want to use in the field? And honestly, it's just preference. It's what I end up shooting the best with, what I enjoy shooting the most. A lot of people assume that the grades that we give, the ones with the highest grade at the end, are the ones that I'm going to keep or suggest to somebody else, and that's not always the case. So I have a whole bunch here right now that I know I'm going to keep and try to put in the field. There's a couple others that I have in mind that I'm going to try to get my hand on before the season starts, and we'll try to put those in the field too. And what I'll usually do is I'll start out with something. Beginning of the season, I'll be on something big, so I'll try to get something. If not, if we shoot a doe, we end up, harvesting something with it. If I feel good about it, we'll kind of move to that next bow and right down the line, and I'll try to get as many bows in the field as I can. Last year, I think we did 8 deer, 5 different bows. And on each bow, I try to run a little bit different setup, different arrow, different broadhead. Again, trying to field test as much stuff as we can. So I don't know if I'm going to put it in the field, but something I have not been able to let go of is like the Mathews V3X. This is just one of my favorite. This thing is so tuned and perfectly shooting. I just can't seem to let it go. Just the way I have it set up right here, it's just, I find myself shooting it all the time. I just got it restrung the other day. We dialed it back in, and man, it's just one of those bows. I absolutely love this. This is where Mathews ended for me for the moment. I like the lift from this year, probably wouldn't purchase it. And I never ever got on board with the Phase 4s and once they started splitting those limbs. So this right here to me is perfection. I got one of those old Mathews quick disconnect quivers on there. Love those, got that XL landslide. I run a couple Quattro stabilizers off the front and back. This is the only bow that we'll run a back bar on. And then I just got some Full Metal Jacket Eason's, kind of that common arrow that I use the most. But this is something that I pick up all the time. It's like my stress reliever. If I'm feeling like I just want to fling some arrows, this is usually what I go to. Something new from this year, we'll go with the Hoyt Alpha X. I bought this bow for myself, put some good thought into it. We got the bourbon riser, black limbs. I got this one at 80 pounds. Right now it's back down to about 72. I love how I have it set up. Got one of the new ripcord rests on there. I'm probably going to throw that rich ripcord ratchet on there when I get that in. We got a black and gold sight. Tight spot quiver, love this new quiver. And then I don't run a stabilizer. I run the sticks, and sometimes I'll even just kind of run those sticks kind of facing outwards once it's hung up in the tree. And this is kind of how I rock it. No stabilizer needed. This thing to me is just, it's money. It's perfect just how it is. This is one of my favorites from the year. I can't wait. It's probably what I'm gonna start the season with. Another one that I've held on to for a minute that I cannot seem to let go, the 11th one made X-Lite 31 from Expedition. Got a great deer in Illinois with this one last year. Love this bow. I threw a mule stable on it this year. I got one of those ripcord rests with the high sides, one of the older ones. Love those for a couple different reasons. This one, it's nice and light. I got the non-detachable quiver. This one is when I'm stalking something, whether it be deer, turkey, or whatever it is. If I'm moving through brush, this is a great bow to do it in. I also have it back down, so I'm actually shooting this one at like 63 pounds. So I got some 340 Full Metal Jackets on there, bump that spinage up a little bit lighter arrow. Got the Trek Pro on there. But this thing, just as it is, really nice and light, nice and sleek, easy to pull back. I love it at 63 pounds. It's perfect. It's still humming an arrow too, but this one right here, just can't beat that. That one's gonna stay set up like that and on the wall for a while, I can tell. Another new one from this year, the Persist. So I don't know if I'm gonna shoot it how I dressed it up for the review, which is what I have it right now. So I got the Fast Eddie Spot Hog on there, Ramrod stabilizer, another older ripcord rest on there. But I loved this bow. I really wanted to put one of the refined into the field a couple years ago, ended up having to sell it to get more bows in. So I thought, man, I'm gonna keep this one until the season. We're almost there, it's so close, it's right around the corner. But I'm gonna finally get a bare bow back into the field, which will be nice. Something else, once Athens shut down, I bought one of these immediately. So I went with the Axis 35, got those conifer gray limbs with that tan riser. I haven't dressed this one up yet, but this is one of those bows that I couldn't let, I had to get one again. I couldn't just let them pass up. I wanted to put one in the field. This one I ended up just buying, got a great deal with it because somebody just, right when they shut down, warranties were not bad, and people started selling them for really cheap, and I got this one for a great price, and I said, why not? So got one of those too, put that in the field, and then if APA is nice enough after we do this Black Mamba 36 review, I'm going to ask them if I can keep this one for a couple extra months, see if we can't get this one to the field as well. But I've always wanted to put an APA bow in the field. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. These things hum. So this is another one that I'm anticipating putting in the field. And then also in the back of my mind, I always love prime. Hunting with a prime every year has just been something I've done. I mean, I've done that for as long as I can remember. So I'll probably find a prime, maybe not even from this year, the Rev X from the year before, something. If I can get a good price on something, I'll try to get one of those and put one of those into the field as well. Also got these match grade full metal jackets, these new arrows from Easton Archery. We're definitely going to try this Beast Broadhead out, which is a new mechanical we just got in, and then I'm going to try one of these fixed blade helixes. I got a couple other different broadheads that I'm going to try this year, stuff that we've never ever tested. So yeah, this is it. It's always a hard decision because we have so much. Before backyard bows, it was such an easy decision. I had 3 bows in mind. I'd accumulate them. We'd put them into the field. But once we started reviewing so much, man, there's so many different bows that I have sold to get new ones in that I just regretted later. And I made a list of them on one of the comments one time, and that list made me realize, man, there's so much out there. So we stick with what we can, what we feel good with, what I end up shooting the best with. You know, we try to mix and match as many accessories and stuff as we can so that you guys can have a better feel about us as an organization that we're really trying to field test stuff. You know, you can only do so much in the backyard. A lot of this stuff needs to be put in the field and put to the test for us to give it, you know, give you some honest, accurate feedback. So, but that's it. 2024 season right around the corner. This is what we're going to roll with for the moment. See you next time.